Hi, Tim.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Nice
Welcome
to be
to
here.
Patterson Pharmacy.
Thank you. Yeah, Patterson Pharmacy right here in Oxford. So what's new?
So, yeah, I'm glad you came in. I'd like to talk to you about what goes on at Patterson Pharmacy
Please
each
do.
day. But we got a couple of new things that we
Okay.
could talk about. One of our newer programs is our Million Hearts Blood Pressure Club, we call it.
Okay.
And, heart problems, blood pressure is a major cause of death in the United States, one of the leading causes.
Right.
And so we've partnered with our franchise, Save More Pharmacies.
Okay.
And we have our blood pressure machine
Okay.
in-house now.
Well, I've seen
And
things like this in other places, but this looks a little different.
It is a little different for a couple of reasons. The technology is new.
Okay.
So we're getting really accurate results for just about anybody. It's got a cuff that adjusts to you when you sit down. If you want to try it, you can go ahead with that.
Let's do that. I'd love to see how this works.
All right, go ahead
Okay.
and take a seat if you'd like. And the other thing that's unique about this one is when you join our blood pressure club, we give you a smart card that looks like this.
Okay.
This is mine. We don't have to use one. But what it does is that when you use this card the first time, it registers you online, and then each time you take your blood pressure measurement, you can then access that online
Very good to know.
with your security password, and then you can give a number to your doctor, or you can just print these. And trust me, the doctors are really happy to see that nice, neat printout.
Yeah.
If you take it at home, you can add figures in there. There's other resources there in terms of following other health parameters on the website.
So for
But
somebody
the-
who's
the-
really
the
trying to
focus
keep
is,
track and pay attention.
monitoring your blood pressure, whether you're on medication or not. It's good to know your numbers. And, we as pharmacists can help you interpret those to some degree. But we work with your physician as well
Yeah.
to keep
Well,
track.
that's impressive.
So if you just slide your arm into the cuff,
Okay.
and you'll have to face comfortably towards the machine for
All right.
just a moment. And we'll do some bad things as we do this, but we'll just start you right up, and you'll feel a little pressure when that blows. But you should sit and relax a few minutes when you take your blood pressure, and you want to be quiet, not having a conversation with your pharmacist while you do this to get better results. But we'll get you the general gist, and you can see your results, and we can talk about that private later if you want to.
This shouldn't
sure
really
everything's
take any
fine.
longer than when they do it at a doctor's office, right?
And other than the inflation, because of the cuff adjustment, takes just a few seconds longer. And but really, we'll question your results because of the noise we're making and whatnot. But that's all to it. There is to it, really. It'll give you the answers, give you a printout to take with you. After you've used it multiple times, it gives you the last 10 measurements and gives you an average of the, your average blood pressure over a period of time, which is probably more beneficial than just a one-time reading.
So it doesn't look all that great. You want to tell me what it means? Aside from that, we shouldn't have been having a conversation.
Yeah, we got some skewed numbers there. The systolic over diastolic, we're seeing some numbers that might be higher than we like to
Sure.
see on the systolic side.
And most of us
But,
don't really understand those numbers. What are the
not
ones
really.
that jump out at us that we should really be concerned about? Is it
It also got a pulse reading there. Now, both numbers are important. The systolic number is basically the maximum pressure that your heart is pushing against through the arteries.
Okay,
So when your
so-
heart is pumping, your blood pressure is popping up.
okay?
And when your heart is relaxing and filling to pump again, that's the diastolic figure. And so that's when your blood pressure is the lowest. So you have two numbers to look at. And both of those indicate potential different problems or reassure us that everything is fine. And we can certainly go into more detail that you don't need to share with your viewers at home.
Well, that's
So,
a really good thing to know that it's here.
privacy
I-
is certainly part of this program.
the closest I've seen to this is just your average, while you're waiting somewhere you might be able to test it out. But there's no one to help you understand what you're reading.
And
You
that's-
don't get to keep your score and take it to your doctor if you have a concern. So that's a really good thing to come in here for.
Well, we're excited about it.
Yeah.
And just like prescription, when you get your prescription, yeah, you can get the medication, and generally there's a label on the bottle. But if you don't understand what it's for, what it's supposed to do, how to take it, how long to take it,
Yeah.
those are all important issues in taking medication. And that's really been our motto since we started,
Yeah.
is that we provide the information you need to take your medication safely and effectively, and not just the medication. And I think that's why we've been able to stay here. We're actually celebrating our 50th anniversary in business as
That's
Patterson Pharmacy this year.
wonderful.
Mr. Patterson started the business in 1964 and retired 20 years ago. And we've had the business since then, and enjoyed working with the community and our patients here in Oxford. And it's been a good experience for us, and hopefully we've done some good things
Well, we're
while we're
certainly
here. So, and
grateful that you're here.
looking forward to moving forward from here. So, another concern in the pharmacy community, in the Oxford community, all over, 80% of the controlled substances that are made in the world are consumed in the United States.
Okay. Sounds high.
And so there's a lot of improper, drug abuse.
Sure.
And
Big concern.
It's concerning that it's prescription drugs that are being abused, as opposed to what we refer to as, street drugs, your crack, your heroin, those
Sure.
things. But so a lot of concern about that. We're doing some things. It takes a community-wide level, doctors, pharmacists, parents, schools, to address this problem. But some of the things we do, we utilize the MAPS program,
And that
which
stands
gives us
for?
access. It's the Michigan, what is this? Michigan Automated Prescription Service.
Okay, Michigan
And
Automated Prescription.
in Michigan, each pharmacy is required to report
Okay.
all controlled substances that are dispensed to the state. And but then they have a program that doctors and pharmacists can utilize just to determine that the medications are being prescribed and dispensed and utilized in a in a proper fashion, that they're being
Okay.
taken correctly.
Yeah.
And
Very
so we're
important.
a big supporter of that program, and communicating with the physicians. The second part of our initiative along those lines fits in with our drug take-back program. We call the Yellow Jug, if
Yeah,
we
let's
could
take a
wander
look.
down here and just to see what that looks like. The Yellow Jug program is just one of the take-back programs for unused medication, wasted medication. Certain medications, like everybody knows, antibiotics should be taken until they're gone,
Right.
unless there's an allergy or some other issue
Right.
that
Sometimes
it
the
can't
medication
be.
doesn't work out for a person.
And so it has to be thrown out. There's hazards with our water, our landfills, animals, children getting in unused medications.
Yeah,
And
we
we
really
talked
don't wanna
about the
just throw it in the
potential for
trash.
abuse when those medications aren't used and get into the wrong hands. So there's a lot of reasons why it's good to dispose of those medications properly.
So this is
The
the
Yellow
Yellow
Jug
Jug.
program, if you return unused, unwanted medication to the pharmacy, it's put into this container, which has some additives to basically inactivate the drug or dissolve it, so
Okay.
it can't be used. And then it's picked up through the program and disposed of in a safe manner where it can't harm anyone
Right.
or harm our environment.
I know that there are people who think that just flushing it down the toilet and throwing the bottle away is okay, but then that gets in our water supply, doesn't it?
There are a lot of better alternatives
Yes,
than
there
flushing
is.
it, keeping it out of the groundwater. If anybody needs help with that, there's some steps we can follow, because we can't put everything in the Yellow Jug. There's a few products that are excluded, and we can help you address those. Controlled substances, at this point in time, can't be put in the Yellow Jug, due to regulatory issues. But actually today is the drug take-back day, and a cooperation between the state of Michigan and numerous law officials, the DEA, the county, the state police, and there's a multitude of drop-off points for controlled substances, and it's obviously too late to address that for most of your viewers.
But they can call you for the next time they want to.
Repeatedly through the years,
Yeah.
throughout the year, and we can provide information for that as well.
That's really very important to know.
So those are a couple of our newer programs that we're excited about.
Okay.
What's
And then-
Patterson Pharmacy about?
Yeah, I was going to say you have a lot of day-to-day routine
On a
as
day-to-day
well.
thing, we're really all about prescriptions, but we carry a lot of things in the store for our customers, patients that live nearby, and for convenience, we carry milk and snacks, and we have our whole line of cards here, which are very popular because they're all half off every day. And people
very
they come
nice.
in, they pick up their whole month planned out. I wish I could be as organized as so many of our card shoppers are in the newspapers and magazines and those things. But our focus is on prescriptions. That's where we think we can do the most help for patients. And we actually, being an independent pharmacy, we utilize three suppliers where a lot of stores are limited to one or two. That lets us help avoid drug shortages, which are very commonplace these days. By having multiple suppliers, we can address that issue. There's so many medications, so many tools the doctors have at hand that a lot of pharmacies, I don't think any pharmacy carries all the medications that are available out there. But with the multiple suppliers, we can special order things, have them the next day. 6 days a week, we actually get delivery.
Oh, excellent.
So we try to stay on top of those things. One of the things we do that not every pharmacy does is we do some compounding services, which is creating a dosage form per the doctor's order.
Okay.
In other words, we create the medication here in the pharmacy. We make it. There's a lot of situations that call for that. A dosage strength is not available. We need medication for a child that's not available in a liquid. We can take a solid dosage form, put it into a liquid. And we do a lot with the local veterinarians. Just the dosages that are available in human medicine just aren't available for smaller pets.
Sure.
And things. So,
that is really
that's
good to
been
know.
a popular service that we've been able to provide. And so those are the things that we get excited and an opportunity to help people out.
And makes
that
you
way.
stand out from the crowd.
And,
We love
we get
it.
to do it all here at Oxford, which is a great place to live and,
Yeah.
and do business.
50 years. Congratulations.
Well, thank you for saying that, and thanks to all of our loyal patients and customers that have come in over the years, and other businesses that have been so supportive and making those 50 enjoyable years. In the last 20, I can speak for personally. And I have other staff here that, I get where I'm going with that is that we have some staff, technicians and pharmacists that have been with me pretty much for the duration of those years. So when you come in, you're going to see a familiar face, and people seem to be comfortable with that. And,
Well, it makes the place feel like family.
That's what we want to that's how we want people to feel when they come in, and that's our goal to do that. So.
All right. Well, we do appreciate you letting us stop by, and it's always good to see you again, Tim. And your programs here are excellent.
Well, thank you.
Having a local pharmacy is one thing, but having a family that you can call your local pharmacy, and one that's been around for so long, is just such a great thing to have. And we have it right here in Oxford. So if there's anything that you need or any questions, you make sure you give them a call down here at Patterson's and see if they can help you out with something. So next time you take a walk here in Oxford, stop on by. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Bye now.
Hi everybody, I'm Terry Stiles.
Hi everybody, I'm Bill Service, and I'm the producer of Our Community Access. Terry and I started our show 8 years ago to bring our community into your living rooms.
Our Community Access is a show born from the rich diversity of our community, and we want to brag about it and the people creating that diversity.
Over the years, we've been from fox hunts to beekeeping and right in your own backyard.
We welcome new businesses, chamber fashion, senior hobbies, class reunions, and much, much more.
We've covered all our celebrations from Leonard Strawberry Festival to our premier Lone Ranger Parade.
But there's still more avenues that we plan on going on.
So watch our Community Access at 9:30 and 5:30 every day, and you have a great, great week.
Welcome. We're here at Mark A.M. Jewelers, right here in town. How are you this morning, Mark?
Good. How are you, Susan?
Good, good. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It's always good to see you, too.
Such beautiful things here. Why don't you introduce us to the lovely ladies next to you?
All right. On my right, your left, Danielle Brinker. She's designer and jeweler here with us. And then to my left is Anne-Marie Cipriano. She's a graduate gemologist and also a designer.
Wonderful.
And she specializes in assessing the stones and so on, and identifying. And it's a very stringent sketch or program that you have to go through in order to get your graduate gemologist degree. And that's what Gemological Institute of America.
Okay.
And so she'll probably talk to you folks a little bit about colored stones today, and then we'll have Danielle talk about how we take those colored stones and design a beautiful piece of jewelry and build it.
Great. So we've got a bit of a partnership going here between
Absolutely.
the gems and the designs.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So what are some of these beautiful things that I'm looking at? Maybe Anne-Marie can tell us about these gorgeous colors.
Well, over here we have an assortment of sapphires. Sapphires
Wow.
come in many different shades. We have the blue, the pink, and the yellow sapphire. These are all sized between 2 and 3 carats. Maybe this one's a little bit more. And then I have ruby here. It's a natural ruby, unheated. A lot of times they do heat treatments to enhance colors, but
Okay.
this is a natural color.
Makes it very deep and rich.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
And then we have a matched pair of emeralds. Can use those for earrings. And then I have some unique colored stones here. We have Speen on the end here. Has a real nice adamantine luster.
Pretty.
And then we have some tourmaline. And we have a zircon.
Now tourmaline I would not have guessed as being that color.
Well, tourmaline comes in all different colors.
That's
In fact,
wonderful. I
have
did
a
not
little-
know
yeah,
that.
a little array of all the different shades. You can get the watermelon tourmaline, the blue shades, brown,
Beautiful.
yellows.
Combination of greens and pinks also.
Yep.
Very nice. So is there one that's more popular, or is it very much an individual thing?
It's an individual thing. The sapphires are very popular, and also this one here, which is the tanzanite, which is real popular too.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Now what was this pretty one in the package there?
That is a fire opal.
Opals are just
Yes,
beautiful.
and that has a beautiful play of color. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick this up or not. There we go.
Yeah, that's just gorgeous.
And Danny can build a beautiful setting to go around any one of these gemstones.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, Danny, do you have a particular style of design that you do, or is it just pretty much individual again, based on the stone and the customer?
Pretty much individual
Okay.
on several accounts, so it depends on what the customer likes and what their style is and what stones we're going to be using, and then we kind of build around that. Mark had me set this one out. This, again, is a pink tourmaline, so
Beautiful.
same family that we just showed, and this is something I had laying around. And so,
Oh my!
this was something I had from a few years ago. So, coming up with a design that would complement that and something you don't see every day.
Yeah, that's
which
really
I
unique.
prefer instead of something that you can find anywhere. We kind of create beautiful pieces that no one else is going to have.
Wonderful.
Danielle graduated from Center for Creative Studies, after 4 years, which, again, in that course of education, they introduce a number of different styles there, and then each one has its own unique way to be built, so each one has its idiosyncrasies or its style of fabrication, and she's mastered them all.
It's a gorgeous design. Tell us a little bit about how is something built and manufactured, or in terms of in the metals and all of that.
I'll go get the wax model.
Okay, it looks like you've brought out quite a few tools on how you would actually start in the process of creating a piece of jewelry. So,
Yeah, Danielle can explain the process.
Well, I can kind of show you how this starts. This is our tube of wax. So this is how it looks at first. And what we do is we'll start with a size and what people want, and we kind of build off from there. So in front of us, we've got a ring design that a customer came to us with, and we're using her existing stones. And so we're using a similar idea, but we have to change it slightly to accommodate everything that she would like and the changes that she wanted to do with the piece as well.
okay.
So one of the little diamonds is sitting out. However, you can kind of see
Right.
the similar flow that it's got onto the original picture.
Okay.
With this piece, you would also like to omit the little diamonds here, but then add some nice pear blue sapphires in this as well,
Very pretty.
because you like the color.
That's nice. No, that's a long process. So I mean, I could see it being very meticulous in how you have to get to your final product.
Well-
How long does something like this usually take?
Well, that wax, we have about 5 hours into it, and that way the customer could get an idea of how the ring's going to flow and if it's going to be like the correct scale for her finger and so forth. So then at this point, she'll take a look at it. We'll place the center on top to make sure that nothing's too buried or everything's showing that she wants. At this point, then we will take this model and then use the lost wax casting method and turn it into white gold.
Okay.
And then at that point, once the casting process is done, we'll get the piece back, because that's the only thing we actually don't do on premises. It takes some specialized equipment and a lot of time to do the casting, and it's more efficient for us to do that off-site. So at that point, once we get it back, then we'll go in and we'll start cleaning up with our files and checking the size and adding the various details and lines and whatever types of details that are going to be required to finish it. And then we'll machine the prongs up, because again, we had to change the design off what the picture was. And then we'll special make those, attach those to the center ring and center stone.
It's just a true art, and obviously a team effort.
Yep. Well, then once we do get the piece to the finished state, then, and in the meantime, behind the scenes, Anne-Marie will be grading the diamonds, so that when we go to do the finished appraisal, once the piece is completed, then she has all the information, the weights, dimensions, whether whatever characteristics the stones will have, and then we can assign a value to those in order to do the appraisal for the customer.
Okay. And that's partly what you do as well.
Yep, for insurance purposes, yes.
Okay. So who are your main customers here? Is it occasional jewelry, or do you get a lot of people who just want something special?
It's all over the
All
map.
over the
It
map.
really is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know, because a lot of people think that, well, I don't need something, or it's only when I'm getting married, or.
Right. Well,
But
no,
there's all sorts of things that people can have for others or for themselves.
especially at this time of year, because yes, it seems springtime. There seems to be a lot of engagements going on. Understandable, but then you have the residual from that, because even though we may have sold you an initial engagement ring, and the guys are going, that's over with, in reality, he doesn't realize that that's just the beginning, because if he gets married, then he has to buy anniversary gifts and birthday gifts.
Well, and
So-
Mother's Day is coming up. and,
Exactly.
yeah, there's lots of wonderful, wonderful reasons to give somebody something beautiful. That's for sure.
And it's always the right size.
See?
And you don't have to go to the mall.
And on top of it, you get something unique
Yes.
that you've helped create.
Right.
And then on top of that, it doesn't, and most people have the idea that if it's custom, that it costs more. And a lot of times that's not true. I mean, because I do carry a lot of pieces in stock, but if they want something custom made, it doesn't necessarily have to be more.
Well, that's good to know. Well, this is wonderful. This is such beautiful things to look at and to learn about, and it's lovely to come in here just to look. If someone needs to come and see you, what's the best way? Because I know you make appointments and you have certain times and.
Yes, our hours are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 until 5:30, and then Thursday, noon until 8:30 in the evening.
Okay.
So this way, if somebody's working or they're, say, down in Troy or Plymouth or something, it gives them time to come out, and then they're not having to feel rushed.
Okay.
And then Saturdays, obviously, 10 until 2.
Okay.
If they do need special requirements for hours, say an appraisal, something like that, we can come to them if the conditions are right. So if they do feel that they need an appointment, they can certainly do that.
All right.
But we're here and we're open and we're glad to show them what we have. Because we do have a lot of very unique and interesting
You
things.
really
You won't
do.
find this assortment in most stores.
No.
And that's what we try to impress on people is that, yes, diamonds are beautiful. They are a mainstay of our business, but there's a lot of other facets to it too.
Right. No, that's beautiful. That's definitely worth coming down just to look at these beautiful colors here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, if there's anything special that you're looking for, or maybe you don't even know that you want it yet, you'll come down here and I'm sure you're going to find it and talk to Mark and these great ladies here in the staff, and definitely think about stopping by for some jewelry needs.
My pleasure.
Anything else you want to say to your customers?
How about your repair work and service?
Well, yes, repairs are also a great part of what we do here.
Very good.
You know, it's kind of part of the business. I mean, you have pieces and, you know, they may have been grandmas or your moms and or, you know, grandfathers or something like that, which, you know, over time it's like anything else. It does need maintenance. And so we can perform pretty much any service and we do that all in-house.
Okay.
A lot of people worry that it gets taken in and then
Shipped somewhere,
shipped somewhere
and doesn't
else
come
and the
back
guy doesn't,
and-
you know, he's looking at the clock and he has
Yeah.
no clue of whose piece that is. He's just trying to get the job done and as quickly as possible.
Well, and that's nice that you're here as a local person and
Yes.
kind of like a family of Oxford in regards to people are going to feel that trust of bringing their things here to you, especially if it's that heirloom piece that they want to take care of.
Yes. And again, we're a little over 10 years here now in Oxford, and we do appreciate the fact that they've really welcomed us with open arms and have learned to trust us. So,
Yes, well, we're happy that you're here.
well, thank you.
Thank you, and make sure you stop on by if you want to check out anything here at Mark's.
You're watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford, Addison Township, and the village of Leonard.